Hey everyone, it's me again, Kiana, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiana and I do bookish things here. Today we are going to be doing my April wrap-up. In the month of April, I read 5 books. I have 4 here with me that I read physically and 1 ebook. For those who don't know how I like to do my wrap-ups, I like to do them in chronological order of what I read first to what I read last. So let's jump right into this wrap-up. So the first book I ended up reading this month is Undercover Bromance by Lisa K. Adams. This is the second book in, I believe, a 5-book series. And in this one, we follow Liv Penandrez, and she has a dream job as a sous chef at Nashville's hottest restaurant. Too bad the celebrity chef owner is less than charming behind kitchen doors. After she catches him harassing a young hostess, she confronts him and gets fired. She vows revenge, but she'll need assistance to take on the powerful chef. Unfortunately, that means turning to Brandon Mack. When Liv's blackballed from the restaurant scene, the charismatic nightclub entrepreneur offers to help expose her ex-boss, but she is suspicious of his motives. He'll need to call reinforcements. The Bromance Book Club. Inspired by romantic suspense novel they are reading, the book club assists Liv in setting up a sting operation to help take down the chef. But they are just as eager to help Mac figure out the way to Liv's heart, even though she's determined to squelch the spark between them before she gets burned. I absolutely love this book. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I took away 0.5 stars. I'll explain more in my book review that should be coming next week. Turn on your bell notifications and you'll find out. I'll explain more there. But I did not like Liv in the first one. I thought she was very annoying because of the things that she's seen growing up. She didn't want her sister to relive, which was very understanding. So this book is a part of the Me Too movement, but Liv was very strong in this. She didn't take at time first to consider how some of the girls would think when she was pressuring them to come forward. And Brandon Mack, who I absolutely love and adore, he was so quick to be the knight in shining armor, never to considerate how these girls are feeling, if they need a knight in shining armor. They just wanted him to be him. I love that this was a part of the Me Too movement. That meant so much. I loved how no matter what, these guys, when Brandon told them, were quick to jump up, was quick to be like, all right, let's take this guy down, let's beat him up, like let's do whatever we needed to do to help him, which I absolutely loved. And again, 4 out of 5 stars. Be on the lookout for my more in-depth review of this. I then ended up reading Unlock Your Storybook Heart by Amanda Lovelace. This is the 3rd book in the, I believe, like her story tell, I don't remember the name, I'll like put it here, her like storytell trilogy. And this, I say, is like a, what was it? It's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, I believe. Like, yes, it is inspired by classic tales, mostly notably Beauty and the Beast. So I love this. I love how, before you even get into it, it is trigger warnings for eating disorders, mental illness, self-harm, sexism, queerphobia, death, grief, trauma, and more. Remember to practice self-care before, during, and after reading this. I give this a 5 out of 5 stars. In the beginning, I did not like Amanda Lovelace's poetry. I thought she just dragged a lot of this on. But again, it also is how you feel with what she's talking about. If we're going to be honest, I love this because it was more of like, why be the person they want you to be instead of being the person you deserve to be, if that makes sense. Another one's on page 39, and it says, her book says, don't settle for anyone who accepts you in spite of an integral part of yourself, for that is not love. Don't stop looking until you find someone who adores you, because everything you are, for that is love. Again, 5 out of 5 stars. There's not really much you can say about a poetry book because it's a collection of poems, short stories, stuff like that. So you really just have to like sit down, read it, and see if it speaks to you or not. I then read, and this is the one book I don't have with me, Across the Greengrass Fields by Shauna McGuire. This is the 6th book in the Wayward Children series. In this one we follow a girl named Reagan, and she has a passion for horseback riding, but she notices as she's friends with the popular girls, they're developing much quicker, they're growing breasts, their hips are coming in, and she's wondering if something's wrong with her. So she ends up sitting down with her parents, and they tell her, when you were born with both genders. You were both with girl genitalias and boy genitalias, and we decided you were a boy. So Reagan thinks she is able to tell her best friend, and when she does, her best friend freaks out on her and goes to tell the entire school. Reagan ends up running away, and of course she stumbles upon a door that says "Be sure." She steps to the door, and she is invited into this world. She's invited into this world called the Hufflands, and there she is taught by the Centaurs, who end up finding her. When a human comes to the Hufflands door, Hufflands land, they are going to save her, but first she must be presented in front of the queen, and the queen will determine, like, you know, what is what. They do not bring her. They end up hiding her, and the 1 year that they decide to bring her out, because she's there for like 5 to 6 years, someone rats them out and ends up trying to kidnap her. The Centaurs find her again, and they run away again. As she's getting older, she's like, maybe my time here at the Hufflands isn't what it's supposed to be. Maybe I need to go home. So she travels to meet the what is supposed to be the queen, and it's supposed to be an animal here in the Hufflands. But it turns out not to be. Spoilers. It turns out to be the last human who was ever here, and how he explains he basically took over. I absolutely love this book. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I think this was one of my best like reading months this month, because all of them were about like 4 to 5 stars. I really enjoy this, and I cannot wait to read the 7th book. I don't know if Shannon McGuire is coming out with any more books, but I did love this one. I then read Fairy Tale Volume 12 by Hiro Mishima. I absolutely love this, and it picks up right where we left off in Volume 7, with Ezra trying to stop the downfall of someone that she was in a slave camp with. We see so much of Ezra's background, and then we see so much of how Fairy Tale loves Ezra and how much they care about her and how much they say she is their family, which I thought was absolutely freaking adorable. I gave this, I believe, a 4 out of 5 stars. There's only like how high you can rate these. I don't know when I'm going to pick up the next couple ones, because this is a series that's over 100 books, and I do think I want to do my book unhaul first before I end up buying more of this. But again, I loved it. 4 out of 5 stars. I'm really happy that Ezra got like her happy ending. And then the 5th and final book that I read was a part of my Harry Potter reread, and I ended up reading Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And this one, it is when Harry is going back to his 2nd year. You know, we meet Dobby in this one. We meet Glittery Lockhart. And I think my favorite Harry Potter book will always be Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I have enjoyed that book much more than I have enjoyed the other ones, and I have just connected more to it. And this one, like I said, Harry gets exposed basically by Dobby. Dobby doesn't want him to go back to Hogwarts because he knows the Malfoys are doing something. So Harry basically gets locked away for the summer by the Dursleys. They're like, you're not going to go back to this school. The Weasley brothers end up breaking him out. When they go to Diagon Alley, you know, we meet Glittery Lockhart. I cannot stand that man. I don't care what anyone says. You know, Ravenclaws aren't always like that. I just don't like that man. I thought he was a fraud from the get-go, and I was right. Rereading Harry Potter just brings my love for it, because I don't think I've reread Harry Potter since I first read it back in like 2015, 2016. So rereading it all these years later, after, you know, constantly rewatching the movies, brings back so much joy into my heart. But I gave this, of course, a 5 out of 5 stars. And those are 5 books that I read in April. I will be leaving here 2 videos I feel like you guys should go back check out. Comment down below what books you read this month and what were your favorites. I try to post 2 to 3 times a week. Sometimes life gets in the way, sometimes work and school gets in the way. And hopefully I'll see you guys very soon with another video. Bye guys!